Okay. Good afternoon. Today is an INT and it's 24th of July and it's for 3 p.m. Thank you very much. Please call the order.
Chairperson Juan Garza.
Here.
Vice Chair Ted Masiacos.
Present.
Alderman John Lash.
Here.
Alderman Mike Seville.
Here.
Alderman Emmanuel Llamas.
Here.
5 present.
Okay. Approval of the minutes for 23:05:34 and July 10, 2023.
Second.
Motion by Alderman Mike Seville, second Alderman Ted Masiacos. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay. We have public comments?
Yes, we have someone signed up for public comment today.
Okay. Can you read, please?
Pursuant to the Open Meetings Act, all persons shall be permitted an opportunity to address public officials under the rules established and recorded by the council. Under our rules, any person may address the Infrastructure and Technology Committee for up to 3 minutes with a maximum of 30 minutes allotted for all public comment. No person other than the timekeeper or the chair for the purpose of maintaining order may interrupt a person recognized for public comment during his or her comments. Members of the Infrastructure and Technology Committee shall not engage with nor respond to a speaker during the time set aside for public comment. Staff is directed to follow up with members of the public with respect to any concerns raised during public comment within the scope of the city's authority following the adjournment of this meeting. Okay, and the only person we have is Dawn Cavanetto. Okay.
Good afternoon, committee members. My name is Dawn Cavanetto, and I am a resident of the Legacy Fields Condominium Association, and I live right next door to the 25-acre lot that will be the public works site. I am also a board member of the Legacy Fields Condominium Association, and I am here today to object to the purchase of the fuel tanks, agenda item number 230511. You'd be putting a gas station right on top of our homes. Please find a better alternative. With all EVs coming by 2032, there is no reason to waste $61,786 of taxpayer funds, nor risk the health and safety of the homeowners. Thank you very much for your consideration.
No other speakers?
Chairperson, we have no one else signed up for public
Okay.
comment today.
All right, so we have to start with the agenda. Can you please read the first item in the agenda?
Item 23-0454, a resolution authorizing the annual maintenance renewal for VMware server software, VMware, used by the City of Aurora through CDW Government, Inc., Vernon Hills, Illinois, in the amount of $64,037.12.
Good afternoon, Chairwoman Garza, members of the committee. I'm Jeff Anderson, City's Deputy CIO. This is our annual renewal for VMware maintenance. The VM in VMware stands for virtual machine. What that allows us to do is create multiple instances or multiple computers, if you will, on one piece of hardware. So instead of buying hardware for each computer system that you have and ending up with a bunch of them using 35 or 40%, you can put 3 or 4 machines on one physical piece of hardware and have them all operate as individual machines. We bring this up in an annual contract instead of a multi-year approach because we're currently consolidating systems like we've done over the last 4 or 5 years, as well as moving things to the cloud.
Questions or comments?
So moved.
Motion by Alderman John Lash, second Alderman Emmanuel Llamas. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passed. Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much. Next item.
Item 23-0511, a resolution authorizing the purchase of 2 5,000-gallon ASTM double-wall tanks from Tiles and Style DBA Taza Supplies, South Holland, Illinois, for the price of $61,786.00.
Good afternoon, Chairperson Garza and the entire INT committee. I'm Adrian Perez, Assistant Superintendent of Streets. Presented to you is a resolution to purchase the 2 5,000-gallon tanks, and those 2 5,000-gallon tanks, they've exceeded their life. They're used in the operations for calcium chloride. They hold that material. It's a liquid material we use during our winter salt operations, and it's very vital. So when those sub-zero temperatures we have that liquid as another preventative measure when we're out doing salting in our winter operations.
Questions, comments?
Just as a comment, the individual that spoke earlier, that's just to clarify things. This isn't for fuel, it's for calcium chloride for salting operations in the winter. Is that correct?
That's correct. There are two large plastic holding containers for winter operations.
Thank you.
Chairwoman, quick question.
Yes?
And then when we do move facilities, will they be able to move to the new facility, or are they going to be installed at the old facility first?
That's correct. We will be able to move it to our new facility. The one right now that we have will be at our Waterford and Couts location, which is one that's going to be replaced as well.
Thank you.
Okay.
Someone-
Somewhat? Okay, motion by Alderman Mike Seville, second Alderman Emmanuel Lamas. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, motion passed 5-0. Thank you very much.
Item 23-0515, a resolution authorizing the Director of Purchasing to enter into an agreement with Volunteer Supply Industries LTD, 105 East Galena Boulevard, Suite 806, Aurora, Illinois, 60505, in the amount not to exceed $367,190 with 0 cents for the purchase of lighting materials for various locations throughout the city.
Good afternoon, Jason Bauer, Public Works Department. We do this purchase every year. This is basically what we replenish all of our street lighting stock. So all of our light poles, we've got various different fixtures throughout town. They get knocked down due to traffic accidents. Those typically get replaced immediately as quickly as we can, and then we work through the insurance, but we still need to have that material in stock, so we have to pre-purchase everything. And there's other incidences where things are just old and they need to be replaced. So this is for the actual poles themselves. And a lot of the different materials we have other contracts for, but we keep a pretty good amount of this on stock down at our electrical yard. And the guys, as you know, when the knockdowns occur, we try and get the old ones out as quickly as possible. And the more that we have on stock and on hand, the easier it is for us to get the new poles back up as quickly as possible. So this just makes sure that that stock stays up and that we're on top of it so we can make the replacements quickly. We did bid this out. The vendor that got it, they've done the work. They've done the supply work for us for a number of years. Not every year, obviously. They're not always the low bidder, but we're very happy with the service that they provide. Be willing to answer any other questions.
For the clear, the poles is the concrete poles you're talking about,
Some of
right?
them, yeah, we've got
Concrete or
concrete.
the,
And some are steel.
yes,
Yep.
but not the other ones with the ComEd. If it's ComEd,
No,
so
it's
ComEd
ComEd,
taking
yep.
care of their ones.
You are correct, yeah. If it's on a
Correct?
ComEd pole, that's not part of this contract.
Okay.
Yeah, those are all
All right.
not maintained by us.
Questions, comments?
So moved.
Motion made by John Lash, second Alderman Mike Seville. All in favor, say aye. Motion passed. Thank you very
Thank you.
much. 5-0.
Item 23-0521, a resolution to award the Clark Street and White Eagle Lift Station improvements located in Wards 2 and 8 to Performance Construction and Engineering LLC in the bid amount of $1,473,989.00.
Good afternoon, John Hoffman with the Engineering Division. So these sanitary lift stations are definitely in need of some rehabilitation work, and these can definitely be viewed as a critical facility for our sanitary sewer system. So the first one is it's two stations. Clark Street is just just south of downtown on the east side of the river. So this station drains mostly Stolp Island. And it was built in the mid-1990s, and little work has been done to it. You know, just typical maintenance type work has been done over the years. The other project is the White Eagle Lift Station, which is in the White Eagle subdivision. That was built in the late 1980s, and it does serve a good amount, 260 residential lots, plus the White Eagle Club, pool, and some commercial area as well. So that one's more of a bigger critical area to make sure it's operational. So in 2019, we had Trotter and Associates perform a condition assessment, and they noted both stations as being in fair condition and recommended rehab in the next 5 years. So mainly they noted that the pumps were kind of getting to the end of their useful life, and also their pump controls and electrical controls were getting, were dated as well. So we had Fair Graham do a design for the rehab in 2022 and this year, and we went out to bid in June with 2 bids were submitted with Performance Construction and Engineering as the low bidder. We've worked with them in the past, and we've been happy with their work. We also are going to be doing some coordination with the White Eagle subdivision and the pool as well to make sure they're up to speed with what's going on out there. So with that, I'd open it up to any questions.
Yes?
Not about this, but you mentioned that there did some analysis of all of our facilities. Are there any other ones upcoming? Just curiosity in the next 2 to 3 years.
So there was specifically a condition assessment just on these 2 lift stations, but we do have we do budget for annually for the lift stations. So we are going to be trying to get through them as we can, but not any specific condition assessments I'm aware of.
And John, how many total lift stations do we have again?
We have 8.
8, okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
More questions, comments?
So moved.
Motion by Alderman Mike Seville, second Alderman John Lash. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passed 5-0.
you.
Item 23-0531, a resolution authorizing the Director of Purchasing to execute a contract with Nighthawk Video, Sycamore, Illinois, in the amount of $923,867.69 to fabricate and furnish 5 new video monitors and to complete additional purchases in an amount not to exceed $75,000 for any additional material purchases required to complete the installation at River Edge Park in Ward 1.
Good afternoon, Jason Bauer, Department of Public Works again. So this is, I think, the 3rd or 4th purchase we've come through for. As you know, we had one of our target items for this year's budget and actually into next year's budget is quite a list of upgrades and updates that need to occur at River Edge Park. So this one is the Jumbotron monitors. So currently there are 2 monitors. There's one on the concession stand, and there's one on the back of the AEV tower that's in the middle of the park. They're original to when the park was first built. The technology is significantly outdated, and they're just, for a while, they've been beyond their useful life. So as a part of the project, we're going to be replacing those 2 and then purchasing 3 new ones. So, and the park right now, I did include some images for where the 2 main new ones are going to go. They're actually going to go up on the stage, off to the left and to the right. So that'll really help people see that are sitting further back and off to the sides, or someone has an obstructed view. So we're looking to get those, and then there will be a 5th monitor that will be installed further south in the park. So we're also getting that one at the same time. We're going to be working with an architect soon. Again, we'll be coming forward with that contract as well. There's other improvements that are going to be going on at the park, one of which is going to be to get their input and advice on how to best place that 5th monitor. And then a 6th monitor, which will most likely be a different technology. That would be a different purchase in the future. That one would be trailer mounted, and also that would go further south in the park, but have the option to move it around as needed depending on what events are going on there. So we've been working very closely with ACA. They've spent a lot of time researching the different technologies that are available and putting together basically the list of what they know is going to work best at the park. They have a robust AV team that they run the Paramount, as you know, and they also run River Edge. So we leaned on them heavily to make sure that we're investing in the proper technology. So they actually met with 3 firms, and we reached out to a 4th firm that does like jumbotrons at stadiums and things like that. And instead of going out to public bid and just opening up to anybody who can make a jumbotron, we were looking for very specific things in terms of resolution, how readily we can replace the parts. These aren't just one solid screen. There's different panels in them. So if a panel gets damaged and need to be replaced, we want to make sure we can get that part relatively quickly, and also make sure when that new part arrives that it can be integrated to the screen and that it doesn't have any coloring issues and differences. So we did all that research and are recommending going forward with Nighthawk. They're a local company. They're out of Sycamore. Their lead time for production was the shortest of everyone in terms of not just production, but the available delivery. The lowest bidder that put their price in was about $10,000 lower a screen. So really on a $1 million contract, $1 million purchase, for all the different reasons in terms of Nighthawk suggesting they're actually going to meet the warranty of the other vendors. We can get the parts faster. They have the resolution that we want. It's everything that we need it to be. So we're recommending that we don't put this out to public bid and that we lean on all the research that the pros have done. And again, the fact that they did do price comparisons with other companies, and we want to go with the one that's going to give us the best product moving on. Again, if something happens to one of these, the fact that we can get a replacement part and not have it down for, if it's down for 4 months, that's the bulk of the, the season out at River Edge. So we want to make sure we're doing everything we can to put ourselves in position to have screens that'll last the next 10 years and beyond.
So the guarantee is for 10 years?
It's a 5-year warranty, and the
5
screens
years.
that are out there lasted 10.
Yes.
So we're hoping
So-
we get at least
So
that.
in this contract, they also, in case the technology need to update, is included or not?
No, we would be getting these. I mean, obviously, would have their product support for these monitors, and as you know, just buying a TV from your home, who knows what's going to be available 10 years from now. So this is the best of what we can get right now, and we're comfortable with that. And again, the pricing did line up right. It was right in line. They weren't even the highest. They were right in the middle, and there wasn't even that much of a between the lowest price and the highest price. It was only about $60,000 between all three of the vendors. So. Based on their recommendations, we would like to just award to Nighthawk and go that route.
Questions? Yes?
Is there an actual contract that has been drafted? 'Cause I don't see one here in Legistar.
No, we wouldn't do that. Normally, we do that for professional services, and we would do that. Everything that we do from this point on would just be legal, putting that together to match what we would normally have with a purchase type contract.
And normally I wouldn't ask for it because it's just a purchase, but only because you mentioned that if one of the panels were to go out, they would loan us a panel while it's being worked on or repaired.
Right.
Replace, whatever the case may
Yeah,
be.
we would have all that outlined and
So we
reviewed.
have
by
that in
legal.
writing. And
Yes, yeah, definitely. And that's another good point. I forgot to mention that too, that as soon as we enter into this agreement on, I think that would be the council meeting 2 weeks from tomorrow, they're willing to give us loaner screens that we can use in place of the 2 that we have now and let us use those until ours are fully developed and ready to be delivered. So that's another really nice perk about using them is we can actually use something this year.
On these red rectangles that are in the attachments and the renderings, is that the projected size of the display? It looks
The
significantly bigger.
displays are 18 by 11. So that's probably pretty close. These renderings were done by the people that were.
We have the,
So yeah,
small screen
18
and
feet
the-
wide by about 11 feet tall.
so that would be the red dotted rectangle?
It would be the actual black screen that's there. So the red dot is just circling the new screen. So
Oh,
that
gotcha. I
screen's
thought it would
just
be
an
that size.
Exactly, yep.
I was a little excited. I mean, it's still nice to have new
It's still
screens,
pretty
but-
big, yeah.
Yeah,
18 by
it's
11 is
gigantic.
pretty large.
Just one final question, just because I was there this past weekend, and I always notice this and I forget to mention it. The screen that's behind, I don't know what you call it, the tall structure where the camera is
Mm-hmm.
up top. There's a screen facing the south side of the park that I don't think ever seems to dim after the rest of the park goes dark. So
Oh, okay.
if you're in a dark park watching the stadium, it's kind of distracting. So I know we included that in our sign ordinance where the screen brightness had a certain amount after dark. If these new ones, do you know if they're programmable that way, or is it once we set the brightness, that's it?
We can find out. I can bring that answer to you, Kyle, but I'm not sure if, they are dimmable. There you go. Tim Rader with ACA is here, so.
Okay.
I brought him for backup because I figured there'd be some questions I couldn't answer.
That would be great, just because it can be a distraction if you're trying to focus on the stage and there's some big bright
Yep.
screen right there. But great, thank you.
Other question? Yes, Mike?
Yeah, I have a question either for Jason or Tim.
Sure.
With you going to 6 screens, do you anticipate an increase in attendance? Is that the game plan?
Yeah, that's a good question, Mike. Yeah, we do anticipate using the back of the park a lot more. That's part of why we want these screens to serve the entire area, which we're not currently able to do. So, yeah, we do anticipate attendance increasing with.
Do you have an estimate in mind?
Well, we think that back area can fit about 1,500 people. So, that's about a 25% increase from where we're at 6,000 with most of our shows right now.
Yeah, that's great, yeah. And when do you anticipate taking delivery of all the Jumbotrons?
They told us they could have them all within 2 months, roughly, from when when it's go time. But they would, like Jason said, they have some loaners that just came in. They do all the big tours. They do the Rolling Stones. They do McCartney. They're Nighthawk's a very large organization. They're the as far, and they just happen to be local. They do KISS, and when, like, we were quoting, we were looking to do some video walls for KISS a few years ago. We told them we got a quote from Nighthawk, and they're like, "Oh, we know those guys. They're local." They had no idea they were such. I mean, they're a big deal nationally. So they just happen to be local. I've personally been to their facility in Sycamore. I've seen their product. I've met their partners there, and they're a very reputable organization, and they seem to be very interested in partnering with us, which I think that's going to translate having that local connection with service. Just being able to put one of our guys in a truck to go get a panel to swap out when they go bad, because they do go bad. Things go wrong, and being able to have that quick service, unlike some of the other organizations, which is some of the other providers, they're a little harder to get what we need when we need it. Other questions I can help with? Ted?
Good work.
Yes.
Alderman Lash asked a question first.
Yes, Jan?
Just real quick, so along the same lines as Alderman Yamas, there's training included for our staff, so they'll be able to maintain, integrate, okay. And then just to clarify, we're purchasing 4, 5, and 6 are if future works, is that accurate?
This is for the 5th one as well. We're going to order that one now. The 6th one is a different technology, so we might not end up going with a company like Nighthawk. We haven't done a full research on that yet, but that one needs to be the mobile unit.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you, Madam Chairwoman. We've really been supportive of ACCA and what we're trying, everything we're trying to do over at the park, and we're all I think we're all, I can speak for everybody here on City Council, very happy with the results. Noticing that in the committee, we had a proposal a while back about extending the fence to the south as well. We're looking to upgrade here the video cameras. In general, not just what I'm trying to look for, I guess, and request some insight is, in addition to, you'll be coming forward, or someone will be coming forward with another contract for structural mounts, something more broad and broader terms. Can we get a presentation, or is there a presentation of sorts of what it is we're trying to do at ACCA in general, as opposed to just, we're looking to put some fencing to improve the park, we're looking to get new cameras, we're looking to get new mounts, we're looking to get new Jersey barriers on the street, something that, even if it's all complete, maybe this is the last piece of the puzzle, just to come and give us a general oversight of everything that we're doing today. If there's some type of a facility or / maintenance plan for it, that another date, another meeting in a month, or the next one in 2 weeks, you can come back and give us an update on. I don't know if there's conversations between the city and ACCA, presentations or discussions that can be shared with us already, or put together for us to have a better grasp holistically in one sit down.
Yeah, that's a great idea. And I think the good game plan for that, as I mentioned, the next large contract we'll be coming forward with is going to be the architect's contract. And at that point, we can lay out and show, and you actually, in your packet uploaded there today, is basically a summary of everything, and we can walk through all of that, and
Okay.
Because they're going to be designing a lot of those other elements. What we've done so far this year is kind of just pick off some of the easier things that we can do in advance of that. We've gone through the selection process, and that's done now. So that was one of the last things that we had just accomplished, and that'll be the contract that I think would make a lot of sense to do a brief presentation to just show a layout, and we're looking to add something here and kind of go over all of that.
Yeah, I don't want to do it today. just if you can come back, I don't know if it's a city or ACCA rep or both together. We have these nice nice TVs too and stuff. We just sit here and just have a nice conversation.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
If that's okay.
It's a
If
great
Madam
idea.
Chairwoman, if you're
Absolutely.
agreeable
Yes.
to that.
Yes, I agree with that.
Yeah, we appreciate it.
Okay.
Motion approved.
Motion approved by Ted Masiacos.
Second.
Second, Alderman Mike Seville. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passed by
Thank you.
5-0. Next item.
Item 23-0537, a resolution authorizing acceptance of the low bid from J. Jill and Company for repairs and maintenance of the Aurora Police Department headquarters parking deck in the amount of $374,335.00, plus a contingency amount of $37,433.50.
Good evening, Chairperson Garza and the rest of the IT committee.
Jim Burchell, Chief Public Facilities Officer. This is going to be for the APD parking deck. We went out and hired Walker Consultants, who's our parking deck guru. They also do the parking decks in Naperville. So we reached out to them to design the specs. We've been working on this for about 8 months to make sure we got everything to perfection. So we're going to be replacing the expansion joint, which runs east to west, a bunch of the T-joint connectors, which is basically the stability and structural support for the parking deck. The traffic bearing waterproof membrane on the top of the deck will be replaced. They wear out over years. We went out to bid, and we'd like the committee to award the contract to J. Gill and Company for this project. I'll be happy to answer any questions.
The parking deck is, they say is filtering water, or
It is, and
is concrete, the whole parking deck
it does.
is concrete?
It does. What it is this parking deck has more usage than any other parking deck we have in the city. When the officers come in, they park on the second deck. They walk down, they get their unit, their patrol car. They drive up to the deck, get their gear, and they go on patrol. And this happens 24/7, all year round. So this deck moves. It's a moving deck. So there's maintenance that's required, and this is the maintenance to make sure that we're structurally supported.
How old is it? Is 12 years, something like that, no?
It's 15.
15 years?
Yeah.
Wow.
ma'am.
So the construction companies, they know it's a lot of traffic in the area, right, when they build. So
Yes.
they're not supposed to be longer, in good condition?
We're looking at this will make it longer, because what we're going to do is we're going to do all the structural supports, replace that expansion joint east to west. We're going to seal as well. And then we're going to keep an eye on that. Every 3 years, we're going to do another structural analysis and stay up on that. Every 3 years, we'll get a new assessment, and then anything that's needed will be coming back to council, but it'll be a smaller amount.
So every 2 years doing some inspection and maybe do maintenance, so that way we don't have to spend that much money to fix it?
That's correct.
Yeah, that's a good idea, yeah, because to me, it's not an old building, really. We have so many old buildings, and they are in very excellent conditions. And the new ones, we have all this. Is that something? Yeah, well, questions, comments?
Yeah, I was, in that realm, I was going to ask a question too. When Walker did a report, did they give us a grade on how they thought we were maintaining it, how well?
They did, and there's a copy of the report that was submitted.
And if you could just go over their overall grade.
I sure could. They recommended with the expansion joint with the weather. The problem is it's the upper deck is what we're talking about. And that joint, the expansion joint, which I'm talking about, that's the one that runs east to west. That's the one that controls your load. It's going to break down. They recommended cosmetic for staff to cosmetic repairs on the rails going around for corrosion. But as far as staff maintaining, there's nothing that, according to the report, that we could have done to prolong the deck.
Could not have done it.
No, we could not have done.
That was my question. If
The only thing we could have done is we
we were
keep an eye
falling
on.
short, so.
The only thing we could have done, which we have done, is keep an eye on the T-joint connectors and that expansion joint. And that's why we took so long to repair this report, because we wanted to make sure that we were 100% accurate before we came to council.
And I guess logically it goes into the next question in my mind, because we maintain other decks, especially in the downtown. We'll be having 2 more once the casino vacates the downtown in a couple of years, plus our current one over here on Stope and Galena. Do we need to look at other avenues to maintain it over time as well, so we don't come into the same issues?
That's a good question. We are doing that. We recently, as last year, did repairs on Stope Island. We also had Walker do analysis on that. Trivially, we have a deferred maintenance report on that. So we are being proactive with that.
Yeah, and the reason why I'm asking this is because we used to have a parking deck over here on Water Street a long time ago, and we had to tear it down because the city wasn't doing a very good job maintaining it. Now we have a Riverwalk and we have the surface parking, but we did have to take steps to tear it down, and that was the original intent when the city was looking at refurbishing it. So I just want to make sure we're doing all we can, and it sounds like you are, so.
Yeah, to prevent
Appreciate it.
this. Even in the parking lot in the front, in the police station, I parked in the other day and they missing some bricks already.
That's ongoing maintenance. We have a decision package. The perennial pavers, they do break down, and it's just constant maintenance that we do every year.
Yeah. Well, if we did do maintenance, I think it would prevent a lot of other problems. More questions, comments? Yes, Jan?
Thank you, Chair. So just to follow up on what Alderman Garza said, so is it poor design in construction, poor maintenance, engineering that could have been more robust? I'm just curious because it does seem a little bit like it's a relatively new facility.
Honestly, I would say it'd be weather and the use. Like I was saying before, like Stope Island, the use as an example, a car parks there, they're there for the day. The APD parking deck, there is just constant, and you're looking at, we'll be up to about 300 police vehicles. That's not including their personal vehicles. And then we're not including civilian staff. So there's more uses on that deck than any deck that we have in the city. So by doing this and then doing another analysis, structural repairs in 3 years, it will prolong the use.
Madam Chairwoman.
Yes.
We've had years past in my early tenure as an alderman, staff come before us with some maintenance challenges on this parking deck specifically, and there always is wear and tear. It's concrete. Concrete is porous. It's typical to build a deck, a parking deck out of concrete as well. Looking at the photos, it seems like that's stuff that just can happen. A little spalling here and there. Some repairs have already happened, which is great. I'm going to say right off the bat, I think this is a better packet of explanation than we had in the past, and I really want to commend you on being proactive and working on a 3-year assessment moving forward on our parking deck, and to keep coming back to us with things that will naturally be required. It's just a natural way of, there's no parking deck that is going to be 100% maintenance free anywhere you build there, especially in the Midwest. With all the challenges we have here with the snow and the salt, that even if it's calcium combination I think that you're going to put down, I'm not sure what your maintenance process is, but regardless, there's going to be something that's going to happen. So that's about it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
If I can just add, Madam Chairwoman, so it is none of the above, Alderman Leish, and I think Alderman Masiacos hit it on the head. We're in the Midwest. We've experienced, since this has been built, the polar vortex, which got us down to 60 below zero, and we're in 100-degree extreme temperatures. And this is a heavily used garage. And so the expansion joint can only take so much expansion, and then it starts degrading. Put it another way, if you divide the amount of money Jim brought forward in the team by 12 years, it's about $30,000 a year. That's not an unreasonable amount of depreciation, wear and tear for this type of facility. So Jim came to us and his team. We're expanding the idea of the 3 years on all our facilities, but we're also doing that schedule for equipment and other things that are capital intensive. Because unfortunately, A lot of things that are manufactured don't last like they used to, but there was nothing wrong with the engineering, nothing wrong with the design, nothing wrong with the maintenance. In fact, I'm going to say that the maintenance has extended the life that we've done, or we'd be here earlier to you with probably a lot more money.
Okay. All right.
Motion approved.
Motion approved by Alderman Ted Masiacos.
Second.
Second, Alderman John Lash. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, motion passed 5-0.
Thank you.
Very much.
Thank you.
Item 23-0546, a resolution to award a contract to Geneva Construction Company in the amount of $1,665,556.10 for the 2023 contract number 2 citywide sidewalk patching, striping, and bike path overlay projects.
Good afternoon, Tim Widener with the Engineering Division. So this is one of our yearly programs for maintenance on our various assets within the right-of-way. Working on sidewalk, working on roadway patching, roadway striping, bike path overlay. We had 2 bids. Geneva Construction was the low bidder. They're also doing our resurfacing project this year. Slightly over our estimate, but really close. So we're recommending award to them. We'd also ask for an additional $100,000 just to, do as much work as we can this year and tackle anything that may be upcoming this fall. So that I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Questions and comments? Motion approved by Mike Seville.
Second.
Second, John Lash. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passed 5-0. Thank you very much.
Item 23-0553, a resolution authorizing the Director of Purchasing to adopt unit prices for the purchase of large census water meters.
Good afternoon, INT Committee. Mike Houston, Superintendent of Water and Sewer Maintenance. I'm presenting this afternoon in order to adopt unit pricing for large meters. Those are meters 1.5 inches and larger from a sole source provider, Core & Main, who exclusively provides water meters from Census. All meters in the city of Aurora are Census brand, and the unit prices are needed for new development installation and for replacement of old worn-out meters due to normal wear and tear. The current unit prices have changed slightly and only good through January 1st, 2024, which then we'll have to bring another resolution through. Historically, Census would commit to pricing from 1 to 3 years, but due to rising costs, they can only commit to 6 months at this point. I did have a conversation with Core & Main and Census, the vendor, and they did say after we renew in January, they anticipate being able to commit to a longer term. So, which obviously causes a little bit of problems on our end because we have to bring it through every 6 months. But it's just what it is right now with the cost of goods and services right now. So, but they will commit until we have good pricing until January 2024, and at that time they'll reevaluate, and hopefully we can get another 3-year extension of unit prices for our large meters.
Okay.
Any questions?
Questions, comments?
So moved.
Motion, Alderman John Lash. Second, Alderman Emmanuel Lamas. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passed 5-0. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Item 23-0554, a resolution to award the contract for the White Eagle Forest main improvements located in Ward 8 to H. Linden and Sons Sewer and Water, Inc. in the amount of $453,600.00.
Good afternoon, John Hoffman, Engineering Division. So this new force main is kind of going in conjunction with the lift station improvements at the White Eagle lift station. So this is going to be 1,100 feet of new 8-inch HDPE force main. It will provide some redundancy for the lift station there since that's such a critical area. Currently, it's being served by a 6-inch force main, and this will allow us that if there is a force main failure, we can switch to this new 8-inch force main. So both of them can be in use at the same time. And the consequence of failure, if the existing force main did fail, there would be numerous basement backups out there. And also any bypass pumping would require 2 road crossings with at-grade pipe, as well as 7 driveway crossings. And then for the force main, or I'm sorry, for the lift station project, we can use this new force main that we're installing while the lift station's being constructed. So it's kind of a secondary benefit for this project. We did go out to bid in July, and H. Linden was the low bidder. We've done work with them before on numerous underground projects and have been happy with their work. And again, we'll be coordinating with the White Eagle subdivision to keep them up to speed with what's going on. So with that, I'd open it up to any questions.
So they want to be done by this year, right?
Yes, this one, we're slated to be completed by the end of October. And then the lift station project that I previously went over would be May of 2024. Would be the completion for that.
So first want to do this.
Correct.
And then, yes, okay. Questions, comments? Motion by Alderman Mike Seville.
Second.
Second, Alderman Emmanuel Lamas. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passed 5-0. Thank you very much. No other items in the agenda for today.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion adjourned by John Alash.
Second.
Second, Emmanuel Lamas. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, adjourn the meeting at 4:44. Thank you very much.